Have you ever noticed that every great achievement in history began with something no one else could see? Before there was a thriving business, it was an idea. Before there was a groundbreaking invention, it was a sketch on a piece of paper. Before someone earned their first $1 million, received a promotion, wrote a best selling book, or transformed their life, they first imagine a different future. Everything begins in the mind. That's why wealth begins in your mind long before it reaches your bank account. Today, we're going to explore why the way you think influences the choices you make, how limiting beliefs quietly hold people back, and what you can start doing today to build a mindset that opens the door to greater opportunities. If you're committed to personal growth, building confidence, creating abundance, and becoming the best version of yourself, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Many people think wealth is simply about money, but money is only one expression of wealth. Real wealth starts much deeper. Wealth is a possibility. It's confidence. It's believing that tomorrow can be better than today. It's knowing that even if you don't have all the answers yet, you have the ability to learn them. Think about it for a moment. Two people can have the exact same education, the same amount of money, the same opportunities, yet one builds an incredible future while the other stays exactly where they are. What's often different is in intelligence. It's in luck. It is in talent. It's how they see themselves. It's the story they tell themselves every single day. Our minds are constantly creating stories. Some stories encourage growth. Others quietly build invisible walls. Maybe you've heard these thoughts before. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not qualified. I'm too late. I don't have enough money. People like me don't become successful. Thoughts can feel real because we repeat them often. But here's something worth remembering. Just because you think something doesn't automatically make it true. Many of the beliefs that hold us back aren't facts. They're stories we've accepted without questioning. And stories can be rewritten. Imagine someone standing in front of a closed door. They assume it's locked, so they never even try to use the handle. Years pass, opportunities disappear, dreams fade. Then one day someone else walks up, turns the handle, and the door opens effortlessly. The difference wasn't the door. The difference was the willingness to test an assumption. How many opportunities are sitting behind doors we convince ourselves are locked? How many conversations never happen because we assume we'll be rejected? How many businesses never start because someone believes they aren't ready? How many careers remain unchanged because someone assumes they're not qualified enough? Sometimes the greatest obstacle isn't reality. It's the story we've been telling ourselves. Here's another truth that successful people understand. No one begins as an expert. Every entrepreneur was once a beginner. Every public speaker once struggled with nerves. Every investor once knew nothing about investing. Every successful leader once questioned themselves. Growth isn't about knowing everything. It's about being willing to learn. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't fall once and decide walking isn't for them. They fall, stand up, take another step, fall again. Eventually, they walk without thinking. Imagine if adults approach their goals with the same determination. Failure would become feedback, challenges would become lessons, progress would become inevitable. The people who accomplish extraordinary things aren't necessarily fearless. They're simply willing to keep moving even when fear is present. That's an important distinction. Confidence doesn't always come before action. Often, confidence comes because of action. Every small step tells your brain something powerful. I can do hard things. I can learn. I can improve. I can adapt. Those messages become part of your identity. And identity influences your future decisions. This is why your daily habits matter so much. The life you build isn't determined by one dramatic moment. It's shaped by thousands of small choices. Reading 10 pages today, learning one new skill, making one phone call, saving a little money, practicing one presentation, sending one application, helping one customer, improving the process. None of these actions seem life-changing on their own, but over weeks, months, years, they compound. Just like investing money, investing in yourself produces returns over time. Small improvements repeated consistently often outperform giant bursts of motivation that disappear after a few days. That's why consistency is far more valuable than perfection. Too many people wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they're more confident, until they have more money, until life becomes less busy, until conditions are ideal. But perfect conditions rarely exist. Waiting often becomes a habit, and habits shape our future. Imagine planting a tree. If you wait for the perfect weather, the perfect season, the perfect day, years may pass without ever putting a seed in the ground. Someone else plants theirs today. By the time you're ready, they've already been enjoying the shade for years. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates bigger action. That's how growth happens. Not overnight, but over time. And powerful shift happens when you begin asking better questions. Instead of asking, why does nothing ever work for me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying, I'll never be successful, ask, what skills would make me more valuable? Instead of thinking, I'm stuck, ask, what's one step I can take today? Instead of believing there are no opportunities, ask, what opportunities have I overlooked? Questions direct your attention, and your attention influences what you notice. Have you ever decided to buy a particular car and suddenly you see that model everywhere? The cars were always there. You simply became aware of them. Opportunities work in much the same way. When your mind becomes focused on growth, learning, and contribution, you begin noticing possibilities that were always around. This doesn't mean every opportunity will work out. It means you'll finally start seeing them. And seeing possibilities is the first step towards creating results. Another important truth is this: wealth isn't built by asking, what can I get? It's built by asking, what value can I create? The marketplace rewards people who solve problems. Teachers solve problems. Doctors solve problems. Engineers solve problems. Designers solve problems. Business owners solve problems. Employees who consistently add value become more valuable. Ask yourself every day, how can I improve someone else's experience? How can I make this easier? How can I serve better? How can I learn something that helps others? When your focus shifts from taking to contributing, opportunities often begin finding you. People remember those who bring value. Trust grows, relationships grow, so do possibilities. Of course, the journey won't always be easy. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, unexpected challenges, days when progress feels invisible, and that's normal. Every worthwhile goal includes obstacles. The important thing isn't avoiding difficulty. It's deciding that difficulty won't define your future. There will always be reasons to quit, but there are also reasons to continue. The difference lies in which reasons you choose to believe. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is protecting your mindset. Pay attention to what you consume, the conversations you have, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the people who influence your thinking. Your environment shapes your expectations. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, you'll begin expecting negative outcomes. But if you intentionally surround yourself with people, ideas, and information that encourage growth, your perspective begins to change. You start believing that improvement is possible because it is. Remember this. You don't have to become a completely different person overnight. You only need to become slightly better than yesterday. 1% better. Read one more page. Learn one new concept. Practice one extra hour. Save a little more. Show a little more courage. Offer a little more kindness. Small improvements seem insignificant in the moment, but they create extraordinary results over time. Success is rarely built through one giant leap. It's built through thousands of consistent steps. So if you're wondering where to begin where you are. Use what you have. Learn what you don't know. Take the first step, then take another and another. Eventually, you'll look back and realize that the life you once dreamed about became your reality. Not because of one lucky break, but because you kept moving forward when it mattered. Always remember this. Every business began as an idea. Every invention began as curiosity. Every opportunity began with someone believing that something better was possible. Your future isn't waiting for permission. It's waiting for a decision. The decision to believe growth is possible. The decision to keep learning. The decision to improve your skills. The decision to contribute more value. The decision to keep going even when progress feels slow, because wealth grows where belief and action meet. Not belief alone, not action without direction, but belief that fuels consistent, meaningful action. And over time, those actions become habits. Those habits become character. That character shapes your future. In today's message, I encourage you Don't let it end here. Take one meaningful action before the day is over. Write down one goal, learn one new skill, reach out to one person, apply for one opportunity, start one project. Your future self will thank you for beginning today instead of waiting for tomorrow. If you're committed to growth, abundance, positivity, and becoming the person you're meant to be, subscribe and join our community. Every week, we'll continue building the mindset, habits, and momentum that lead to lasting success. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Until next time, keep believing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building momentum. One step, one decision, and one day at a time.